Hi, welcome you all for the fundamentals of embedded system. In this video, we are going to study about the storage classes in C because in embedded system, memory management is the critical thing. By using the storage class only, we are going to handle the memory in better way. So storage classes is nothing but which is generally used to define how the variable is going to behave inside a program. I am going to define a variable, but how the variable is going to be act inside a program will be defined using the storage classes. They usually defines a scope like where the variable can be accessed as well as the lifetime. Lifetime is nothing but how long the variable exists in the memory in the program. Then memory location where the variable is exactly going to store. So these are the main things which can be determined using the storage classes. In C, generally 4 storage classes are available. One is auto, registers, static and extend. We can see one by one in the upcoming slides. So first one is auto storage class. Auto storage class is nothing but it is a default storage class for a local variable. For an example, I just declared int a equal to 10. I didn't mention any storage class. Then my compiler will automatically consider this int a as a auto storage class. Okay, this is explained here. Generally, we declare int a equal to 10 or int a, int b, like that only we will declare the variable. But if I am going to declare under the storage class means we have to mention the keyword before to the int, like whether it is auto or registers, static or instant. This will be declared prior to this variable. This is how the declaration of storage class will be in the C program. So what is the properties of this auto storage class? First we can see scope, which is present local to the function. For an example, here I have declared means its scope will be present inside this void test. Okay, lifetime, it is also exists only during the function execution. For example, here I have taken an example int main. Inside the main I am calling a function called test. It jumps to this function and inside it executes the set of instructions. So here the scope of this particular variable is within the function as well as how long this variable will present in the memory means till the function execution only it will be exist in the memory. Okay, that's the lifetime. And default value is garbage value. Default value is nothing but here I have declared int a equal to 10. If suppose I didn't mention, I didn't initialize the value, like I have declared something like int a instead of giving a variable, so it automatically consider its default value as garbage value instead of considering it as 0. Okay, now we are clear about its properties, right? So we can this is nothing but it's a general explanation of this example. So variable a is created when the function is started to execute, and when it will be destroyed, once it finishes the function, the variable value will get destroyed. This is how the auto storage classes will work. So what about the scope? Local to the function, and how about the lifetime? It only exists during the function execution. Next we can see the next storage class. Next storage class is register storage class. So similar like the previous one, this is how we generally initialize a variable, but prior to that I am just mentioning the storage class register int I. So now this int variable comes under the register storage class. Generally it is used for faster access. In previous or some when compared to auto, static storage classes, registers variables are directly stored in the CPU register instead of the RAM. Since it is stored inside the CPU register, the access of the variable will be faster. Okay, now we can see the property of the storage classes. The first one is scope. Scope is similar like auto category, local to the function. Where it is declared, in the place alone the scope will be present for the particular variable. as well as the lifetime is also similar like auto category. Only the variable is alive or it will be stored in the memory till the particular function's execution. Once it comes out, automatically the variable will be destroyed. And another one is, it is the faster access when compared to all other storage classes. The reason is it is directly stored in the CPU registers instead of the RAM. Okay, here I have declared a variable I which will be stored in the CPU registers, and I have used a loop and frequently used a variable. So inside the loop this variable is used inside the loop and frequently use the variables. And one more thing what you have to keep in mind is the compiler may ignore the register request. Even though I am initializing my int variable under the register storage class, the decision is fully depending upon the compiler. If compiler said no, I can't give CPU register means, then it will be stored in the RAM only. We can't give assurance always this register int I will be stored in the CPU registers. It's solely dependent upon the compiler. If the compiler ignores means, it won't get the CPU registers. Okay, this is about the second storage class. Next we can go with third one, which is nothing but static storage class. Static storage class is nothing but which retain their value between the function call. Before getting into the explanation, first we can see the function. This is my main function. Inside the main function, I am calling counter function 3 times. Okay, now we can get into the counter function. Inside the counter, I am initializing a variable int count equal to 0 with the storage class of static. Okay, till now it is clear, right? I am just initializing a count variable with the storage class of static. Okay, now next instruction is I am just incrementing the counter value. What will happen? Here my counter value will become 1 and this print will print the value as 1. Okay, this is my first function call, and I am making a second function call. Second time this counter is called. What usually happen means, again it go to this initialization, count value will become 0, again count incremented and the value will be printed as 1. But if you see the output, here the value is printed as 2 and a third time it is printed as 3, which is nothing but once the value is changed means that value will be retained in that variable. So first time when it is called, the counter value is changed as 1. Okay, when I am making a second counter call, the counter value will remain 1. When this particular step is executed, the value will be changed as 2. So only we are getting the value as 2. Okay, now the second iteration, the value will change as 2. Again it is retained in the variable. When I am making a third time counter call, again 2 is getting incremented, then the value become 3. Okay, this is the speciality of static storage class. You can try the same program in your lab instead of using a static and check how it will be the output. So once you try the same function without using static, with using static, you can get a clear idea about the static storage class. Okay, now we can see the properties. So how about the scope? If my variable is declared inside the void counter, it will be local to this particular function. And how about the lifetime? As like auto and register, it is something different, which means that auto and registers will retain or will destroy the memory once it come out of that particular function. But in static, the lifetime of this particular variable will be alive till the complete function or complete program execution. Like till my main loop get executed, my variable value will be stored in the memory. Okay, and how about the default value? If I didn't declare any value in the place of counter, it automatically assigns the value as 0 instead of taking any garbage value. Okay, I hope now you have some clear idea about storage class, static storage class. Next we can see the last one, which is nothing but extend storage class. Extend storage class is similar like a global variable, but here I am declaring a variable in another function. Like I can say I'm having two.c file. Inside the another .c file I have declared int value equal to 10, and in my file 2 I am having the variable with the storage class of extend. It automatically interconnected and get the value 10 from this file 1. This is the speciality of using extend storage class. Which is nothing but when my compiler started to execute this extern, it tells the compiler that the variable is present somewhere in the program or somewhere in the project. So extern allows us to share the variable between the multiple files. That's about extern storage class. Now we can have a general comparison of auto, extern, static and register. Auto is generally stored in the stack memory. Extern will be stored in data segment. Static is also stored in the data segment. Registers will be stored in CPU register. Now I also said that if my compiler ignore it, it can't stored in CPU register. It will be stored in RAM. Next one is how will be the initial value. Auto and register will have the garbage value as its initial value, whereas extern and static will have the 0 as its initial value. Then we can see scope. Scope is, it will be present within the block. Extern alone will be the odd man out, because all other storage class scope will be present within the block only. But extern will have global scope as well as between the multiple files. Okay. Then if you see the lifetime, once the particular function is finished, the memory will be destroyed for auto and register, whereas in extern and static, the the memory allocated for the particular variable will be alive till the program ends. That's all about the storage classes. I hope you got some clear idea about storage classes. We can meet up in the next video with a different topic. Thank you.